Hi guys, it's Jamie here. If you want to learn how to turn this into these, before we go ahead, and I've done all the hard work and mistakes for you, and I can show you what I did wrong and then what worked, so you can skip a few steps in that sense when you come to do it. But before we go ahead and do that, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you want to see regular content. I upload 5 to 7 times a week on lots of different things to do with junk journaling, planning, journaling itself, art journaling, mixed media, just little mini journals, you name it. I have a go at it. And hit the notifications bell so that you can see what's coming up. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and a like so other people can see the content, and also let me know what you think of this project in the comments or any of the videos in my playlist, which are listed in the description below this video. Let's go back in time to when these were just this. So I am back to do another masterboard because my scrap box just never ever seems to diminish in size. I've decided I like doing themed masterboards. I've decided to try and do a Tim Holtz horror theme type masterboard. So I'm going to lay the base down first, and then we're going to see if we can make it Tim Holtz style. To do the base, I've obviously got all the scraps as usual, and all I'm going to do is, keeping with the Tim Holtz theme, use the Distress Oxide vintage photo and go round and just do the edges initially. Then we're going to glue them all down onto here, and then we might, if it's too pale for a sort of gothic horror look, we might distress up some of the actual pieces of paper. But let's get them all down first. So first things first, I'm going to go around the edges of all my scrap papers and then stick them down and come back to you when that's done. This is now fully dry, and what we're going to do is grab any old brush. This is white gesso here, and I'm going to get some, just trying to think what colour. I'm going to go with raw sienna and mix a little bit of that into the white gesso. And I might want to do different shades of this colour. I'm going to pull some of it in because I think it might give an interesting effect to have slightly different colour on there. And then where I've got, yeah, maybe I'm not so keen on that colour by itself, mind. But you can see what I'm trying to achieve is a distressed look to some of this paper. We might get a bit more of colour here, but maybe a different one. Looking at this colour here, what's this one? This is yellow ochre. Ochre? Not sure. What colour are we going to have now? Quite a mustardy colour. Okay, I'm going to try with this because there's a lot of paint on this brush here, and I'm not sure about that shade of brown. I'm sure you know what I mean. It's not a great shade, is it? Dry brushing that a little bit to get this effect. So all we're trying to do is get, with this masterboard, a bit of a worn, rough looking paper effect. And then I want this to dry, and then believe it or not, we're going to do another effect again before we say the masterboard's ready to cut up. Everything is now dry, but as you can see, all one colour with a bit of the old colour showing through. Therefore, I'm going to distress ink it and see what that does. Let's see if we can get some other colour in this to make it a bit prettier or a bit more as we'd want it to look. like old and grungy. That's the distress photo, vintage photo, and I'm just going over different areas. You can see it's going to come up different colours depending on the background and whether there's lines there for it to catch. So it's getting quite a nice effect really. And then the next other colours we're going to use, so I don't want to hold you up watching all this, is going to use the green, because I only have 3 distress oxides, so we're using them all basically. So the green, I love this green. I don't know why. Which green is this? This is peeled paint. Love this one. Don't even know what got me to buy it, to be honest. It's not one you see on the YouTube channels that often. See, now it's beginning to look. You can still see the print underneath, so we haven't completely destroyed the base. The other colour we've got is this very dark distress oxide, which is the ground espresso. And again, just going into different areas with this. So I'm going to continue to do this until this is completely covered. The next stage that I'm going to do is to take some of these stencils and, using the darkest colour, the espresso, stencil over some of these patterns on this background, hold it down and rub it, and I'm hoping it will show through. Let's have a look. Yes, look at that. The other thing we're going to do is take some stamps that are horror themed, and it doesn't really matter what. I was going to use these collage templates for this, but I don't think I will actually. So I'll put them there, so you can screenshot those if you want, but I don't think I'm going to do that now. So again, same colour, because it's the one that I have. You can do multicolours if you want. Do things in blues and greys and blacks. I want to keep it, well, I wouldn't say subtle, just more subtle. I don't know how well this is going to come out, but let's just put him there. Oh yeah, look at that. The other set of things that I want to do is to get some writing on here and some big words. So I do also have stamps as well as stencils, so I'll use a mixture. But again, the idea now is let's just do a number. We've got 1871 there. Let's have a look. Yeah. So you're getting the idea. I'm going to try and build up this whole piece of paper with some stencils, some stamps, some gappy bits maybe. Right, that's the stencils down. I don't think I'm going to do any more stamping. I think I'm going to do that when I've cut it up. What I'm going to do now, fingers crossed, is spray a bit of water on it and see what happens, because it is distress oxide, and I'm going to leave that to dry and see what happens with that now it's been sprayed. Very last stage. Yesterday I dyed some paper sort of blood red, but the paint's dried out, so I'm just going to try and make this colour again. I'm using different materials this time. Last time I used pouring acrylics, this time I'm just using acrylics. I've got some carmine and then the ultramarine blue and slightly less of that, and then hopefully this will mix up to a blood-like colour. So I'm going to water it down so it's a bit like a watercolour type consistency. Now we're going to just do some blood splatter. Oh, so Halloweeny. That'll do. Next stage, now that's dry, it's pretty straightforward. I've got some coffee stained paper here that I dramatically blood stained, and I am going to cover the back of this with this paper. Wow, cutting this lot up took a really long time, but got plenty out of it. So it started this size. This is what we've got. We've got a journaling card, a little one, another one, another one, tags that all fit inside each other, so we might do like a little series together, more tags, bigger journaling cards, and a page border, all from that one sheet. I just love Masterboards for that, I really do. I've got the espresso, the grey, and a black, because I don't know what's going to work. I've also bought back out these collage because the idea is to make some paper that looks like Tim Holtz made it, which obviously would mean using some Tim Holtz style stamps or some other stamps. It doesn't have to be his style. And I was thinking the way to do it would be to create a collage of stamps, but not on the whole thing, because you could actually even journal on this as it is, where I just wet it. The distress ink has gone lighter, which actually, while not so grungy for the Gothic, does make it easier that you could journal on the front of the card and then also on the back. And as well as cutting the cards down, as you can see, I've just edged them with the antique photo. So let's take this one to begin with. I may continue this tomorrow because it's now 1 o'clock in the morning. But let's start with just doing one shade all the way through. Try the grey, and if I don't like how the grey looks, then we'll try something else. Right, let's just whack a heart on here in the grey. I should have done this in red, I'm sure I should have done, but not really. You can't see that at all. Okay, that just looks like a load of weird splodges. Let's try that. It's still not a great image of a heart, is it? I could just spray some water on that and see if I can, even though it's not a distress ink, see if I can get it to run a bit. And then we're just grunging up that card. I'll let that one dry off. We'll try a different one. I think that's the grey. Oh well, try it. Slightly better. You can definitely see an image on that. It's kind of working. To be honest with you guys, last night I just completely gave up. I tried doing a bit more on these, like I stamped a lace background. I quite like it, but again, to me it's not a journaling card unless it has more detail. I did this little one, which, well, I didn't do a little one, I did a big one. It was a mistake, so I cut it down for a little one. Again, it's not brilliant. This one, the card must have still been wet, it ran. Actually, I don't dislike that one, but not what I was looking for. This one isn't very clear either. This one is a sticker that I tried to dye up a little bit to match. I just feel it needs a word. So what I decided this morning was stamping on these isn't working, and I think it's because they're got wrinkles and crinkles and everything. So I've been on the old computer, designed a background and put it onto sticker paper so that anything I stamp on here I can cut out like it's a sticker. So I thought that was quite a good idea. And then I also did some words on a slightly different background, and again sticker paper, so I can cut them out, maybe edge them with a bit of black and then stick them on. And then hopefully we get to finally use the collage templates to create some fronts for these. I have just tried stamping this up on here and it hasn't smudged. I am much happier than I was last night now, having discovered that that works. So let's grab another image that I was struggling with last night, because this was one of them. Then there was, I think, an image of, well, it doesn't have to be anything I was struggling with last night, it could be new. I just want an actual picture rather than wording. It seems to be working, and then obviously I've got to fussy cut it out, but then it is on sticker paper, so at least I then don't have to glue. Right, let's just try that one there then. I just need a little bit of space to cut round to leave a border. And let's see I moved it slightly, but yeah, you still get the same impression. That is so much easier than trying to stamp on these. Okay, we have a winning formula. I'll crack on. Back in a minute. Look at that, guys. I am so freaking proud of that idea. I can't tell you. I know it's not an original idea, but I'm going to be doing far more of this in future. I think you can still use stamps. It'll still be original use of them, particularly if you put them onto your own journaling cards. But it's going to save time, and if one gets ruined, it's not ruining the whole card, which is kind of awesome. I'm going to go off and cut these out and clean up my hands. Oh, finally back. It doesn't take long at all to do that sort of thing. It takes forever. Okay, so this is something I actually fussy cut out for a completely different project, but I think looks nice against this. The quickest way to do this journaling card is to stick this one down on here. With this one, because the sticker has a very strong outline, I'm actually going to try and use a marker pen. It's a graphic marker to outline this and maybe even outline the card. So this is just a little bit of drawing time. I'm going to try to run along that edge. I'm just going to stick some glue on here and put that down, and I think let that dry off. Obviously that is going to be that one done. Now we move on to the sticker zone. This one I wasn't happy with, so I'm wondering if I can get a sticker over this one. It's not bad. Maybe you could just get away with a, it's whatever I put on here can't be too standouty, because that isn't. But I have a feeling it might just be leave it at that. That one's going to stay as it is. Not very exciting. This one I think we're going to leave as it is. You can't add to that. If you add to that, then you can't add it the same. This one just needs an edge doing just up here with the watercolor pencil. Just off camera, I'm just spraying the pencil with a bit of water, and so I can mark this up. It's just that with lack of space, I'd rather you saw these sort of things than... Let's see if I can go back over the whole thing, because if I don't, it won't necessarily match. Finally onto a brand new one using these stickers and a collage. So something square in the bottom, or squarish, big shape in the bottom like that head. Then something circular above the head. I might need to cut a circular. I've got a circle punch and I've got some spare paper. They've got a bit of a blood stain on that one. Not much blood staining otherwise. If we put a circle behind his head like that, maybe outline the circle with some brown or something, and then there's another circle. Of course we could just use a different piece of paper rather than keep using the same paper, but there's another circle down here, and then you could just put something like that across. I quite like it. This seems a little bit too, needs something, so I think it needs colours that, just a bit of dulling down. I think that's slightly better. I'm not sure whether you should black outline that or just keep it brown. It looks like he's got a bit of a halo, doesn't it? Okay. Ooh, skeleton, and just a word across the bottom maybe. Right, well you definitely need to do a bit of watercolour pencil on this bit, because otherwise that makes no sense. The thing is, you should go around the whole thing like that. Yeah, that's okay actually. Sort of greeny background. Got him there. Could just put him on, couldn't you? With his love potion at the bottom. I think I might do that. Well, that was nice and quick. And then just again outlining with the black. I think I'm going to leave him without just outlining that edge. I'm also going to make up some black acrylic so that we can do a little bit more splashing. Just made up some of this black acrylic so that we can do a little bit of flicking. I'm going to try it on this one. See how we feel with that. Right, that's all got to dry off then. Now we're going to do the final 5 very quickly using just the stickers. So it is just a question of finding, like that one says poison, and poison tends to be made from leaves and flowers, and then you could actually be quite cheeky and do healing tonic. That's actually quite funny. And then maybe even a label there. This one had something stamped on it, but obviously it didn't come out that well. So I'm thinking about what you could put on here that's small enough image wise. I've got a couple of poison bottles. Does that cover up that red enough if I do a word with it? Okay, that goes with the colourway. So we're beginning to cover up that old bad stamp. Okay, it's not the word I would have liked to use, but I think that works. I'm going to go round the edges. I had quite a bit of splashing going on, but that's fine. So with the long one, what can we do? I mean, he could come off it and then something above him. It's almost waving at people. Right. I think I want something circular in that corner, and all the sort of overlapping's quite cute. Well, it's not great, but it's okay. Last big one. Have I got any more big images though? Oh, I've got a big label. So this could just be like a writing-y type one with some wording above it. And I'm going to... Ooh, didn't mean to do that. All right. Let's spray it. I've accidentally done that too thick. Okay, let that one dry. Last one. Now, I really don't think I've got any images left. I've just got lots of kind of labels and stamps and things like that. Got another healing tonic. Yeah, I might do that kind of, well, maybe that kind of pattern. Leave that to dry. And then I'm going to press them all and tidy up.